The US and China have been in arms race for decades, with each country stepping up its game whenever the other does. In all forms of military, the two great powers remain head to head, but it seems like the US will finally pull ahead. The US Navy is formidable and the most powerful naval force in the world, but this has never made it complacent. With nearly 300 combat vessels, thousands of aircraft, and over 300,000 trained personnel, the Navy is a force to be reckoned with. The Navy's untouchable status has only elevated with the addition of the battle aircraft carrier USS Gerald R Ford. Named after the 38th President of the United States, USS Gerald R Ford is the world's largest aircraft and warship. It is the first of a new class of Navy airship carriers designed to replace the Nimitz-class carriers. These ships are nuclear-powered, highly technologically advanced, cost-saving, and have many more features. The journey to creating such a warship could not start in a day. Gerald R Ford is the largest warship to hit the seas. The 97,000-ton ship has a length of over 1,000 feet and a height of 250 feet with 25 decks and has been in the works since 2008. The US Navy worked with Northrop Grumman Shipbuilding, one of the leading companies in the field, to create the ship. In 2013, she was christened and officially added to the Navy fleet, replacing USS Enterprise, and she was commissioned by then President Donald Trump in 2017. Gerald R Ford is the most expensive Navy warship and aircraft carrier to be constructed, with a total construction cost of over $13 million. This cost was seen as an investment. However, since its technological advancements are set to make it the most advanced vessel of the sea for the next few years, the Gerald R Ford class of aircraft carriers is said to have 10 ships in total, which is a formidable fleet. This class of ships is set to pioneer the advanced arresting gear designed by General Atomics, which is more versatile and assists in landing a wider range of aircraft. The vessels will also be equipped with automation systems, allowing for much smaller crews than the preceding Nimitz class. Her many decks hold 4 squadrons of fighter jets and can carry up to 90 aircrafts and other weapons, such as an updated RIM-162 evolved Sea Sparrow missile. One of the most relevant updates on the Gerald R Ford ships is the improved nuclear reactors that power the ships. Thanks to an advanced design of the A1B reactor, Ford can move at a speed of 30 knots despite its huge size. However, its size is still a disadvantage because General R Ford is now more at risk of attack than any other ship in the US Navy. As expected, China didn't waste any time preparing for potential warfare as the United States upgraded its system. Satellite footage from the Taklamakan Desert in North China showed that the military has constructed full-size prototypes of the latest class of US aircraft carriers and was using them for target practice. This practice was for China's new anti-ship missiles designed to take down warships just like Gerald R Ford. A Congressional Research Service report from 2022 made the threat of these missiles known and stated that surface ships were at a huge disadvantage in combat as long as the threat of these missiles remained. Hypersonic weapons are a huge threat to any navy, and with China's moves to rapidly increase its navy's size, this can become an active threat to deployed US vessels. China's hypersonic anti-ship missiles have been tested specifically on mock-ups of US aircraft carriers, making it known that they are being trained for a purpose. While Gerald R Ford and other advanced military vessels have anti-ship defenses, none can withstand a prolonged attack from these hypersonic missiles. China has developed a few anti-ship weapons that threaten other countries' ships, but the most impressive is the DF-ZF hypersonic missile. This missile can be launched from a distance of up to 1,500 miles from land, sea, or air and can reach speeds of Mach 10. Coupled with regular anti-ship missiles, which can be used to batter through a ship's defenses, these new weapons will be deadly to anyone they are aimed at. In response to China's ever-looming threat, and to ensure that the US Navy remains the most advanced in the world, the Navy is finally making the move into laser technology. It was only a matter of time before the military managed to crack laser systems for warfare. After years of work, the US Navy is finally cracking the code. The largest classes of ships in the Navy, carriers, are the most vulnerable due to their size and number of personnel and equipment on board. The primary purpose of carriers is to serve as on-sea air bases. Destroyers, on the other hand, as the name implies, are primarily designed for defense and endurance. Gerald R Ford, while being an armed warship, still sails with a fleet of at least 10 cruisers, destroyers, and frigates, called a carrier strike group. Their purpose is to defend the carriers, putting those other ships in vulnerable positions. The carrier strike groups are fully armed and can intercept missile attacks from up to 200 miles away. However, their protection can only last as long as they are armed, which is a problem when they must reload or run out of ammunition. This circles back to the issue of prolonged attacks against these ships. Lasers offer a fairly obvious solution to this problem, as they do not need to be reloaded because nuclear reactors power them. Lasers can be deployed at a greater distance to eliminate threats before they get too close to comfort. Now let's look at some of the other benefits of lasers. First, in response to China's hypersonic missiles, lasers fire at the speed of light, making them much faster than those missiles. As mentioned before, they do not need to be reloaded and can fire thousands of shots against large numbers of targets, such as drone swarms. Lasers also do not combust or explode when they hit their mark. They fire concentrated blasts of intense heat, which can be controlled to different intensities. At low intensity, a laser can confuse sensors on drones or other weapons. Lasers are also more cost efficient than missiles and other forms of weaponry, with an estimated $1 to $10 per shot. The first laser weapon installed on a military vessel was the AN-SEC-3 laser weapon system, which was installed on USS Ponce in 2014. The unassuming looking laser was equipped with sensors and fired an infrared beam that could be calibrated to a low or high output. The high energy laser eventually replaced it with an integrated optical dazzler and surveillance, or Helios. The Helios was the first permanent laser installed on a Navy ship. An Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, USS Preble, was chosen as the vessel to hold this laser. Designed and manufactured by Lockheed Martin, the Helios is a 60 kilowatt high-energy laser primarily designed to intercept aerial threats. The laser isn't only a defense weapon, but is also equipped with intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance technology, also known as the ISP, to study threats and respond accordingly. This laser is highly advanced with a nearly unlimited magazine, high speed, and tracking technology that ensures optimum precision with every shot. The high-speed laser beams fired by the Helios can either melt or overheat their target at a distance of up to 5 miles with a beam of at least 60 kilowatts with plans of scaling to 120. Lockheed Martin announced that the Helios was being tested at Wallops Island in Virginia in 2021. This included test shots to observe the laser in action and collect real-world data compared to the theoretical predictions projected for the laser. The Helios was delivered to the Navy in 2022 after extensive testing to be installed on the USS Preble. The laser will be integrated with the ship's Aegis combat system and radars to allow it to detect threats seamlessly and work in tandem with other weapons systems. Lockheed Martin Vice President John Rambo said, "We believe the 60 to 120 kilowatt range systems can be effective against ASCM, anti-ship cruise missiles." He also added, "The conversation is no longer going to be anymore, are those going to work? Are they going to be useful on the battlefield? Rather, the question is going to turn more to funding priorities, price points, the capacity of our industry primes, and the supply chain that could build these things in full quantities and at scale, and then how would they be employed in combat?" While the Helios is a remarkable step in the right direction, there are still some setbacks. For example, the nose cones of hypersonic missiles are coated in heat-resistant materials like prolytic graphite to withstand the speed of flying at supersonic speeds. A laser of at least 300 kilowatts will be needed to penetrate through such materials. The Helios is reportedly best suited for attacks against drones and small vessels. That is why the US Navy is already working on a new laser weapon called the Hellcat, High Energy Laser Counter ASCM project. This project is still in the conceptual and testing phases, but proposes to create a 300 kilowatt laser that can instantly take out anti-ship missiles. Besides USS Preble, 8 other Arleigh Burke-class destroyers are operating with laser technology, namely the Odin Optical Dazzler Interdictor Navy. Hellcat will differ from the Odin and Helios systems as it doesn't focus on ISP, but on defeating crossing anti-ship missiles. Hellcat is designing lasers that intercept and destroy missiles in their paths. Will other nations be able to keep up with the US Navy's technology advancements? Or will this new era of defense solidify America's dominance at sea? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more captivating and fascinating content. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.